Good morning, everybody, from day 2 of Destination D23. Today's the last day. It is Sunday. We have a really fun lineup for today, and I feel like a lot more rested today, so I'm excited for what today has to come. So today we have a Disney Villains panel first thing this morning, so excited about that. Who knows, maybe we'll get some news about the Villains land. That would be my dream, but I guess we'll see. And then we have a panel with Jodi Benson, our queen, our D23 queen. More about the 3 Caballeros today. We have the Disney Family Legacy with Roy P. Disney, so that's super, super exciting. One thing I'm looking forward to today is the Disney Channel panel. There's been some rumors about who might be here for that, so I'm excited to see who they bring out. I was such a big Disney Channel kid, as you can probably imagine, so this will be my ultimate event today. And then we have some other events throughout the day, but then this afternoon, our last event is a 80s and 90s celebration, and that comes right after the Goofy Movie panel. So it should be a really good day. We have a good lineup. I did get yesterday's video out for you guys, and I should be getting Cuscotopia out today at lunchtime, so you should be seeing Cuscotopia before that. It's a shorter video, but I wanted to break it up just because the video yesterday was so long. So hopefully you guys can watch that, and thank you again for your support.
Trust in me, trust in me. Shut your eyes and trust in me. To see is to take a sudden chill. Cruella did it. At first you think Cruella is a devil, but after time has worn away the shine. I admit that in the past I've been a nasty. They were kidding when they called me Wild Witch, but you'll find that nowadays I've mended all my ways. Repentance in the light and made a switch. True, yes, best. Rapunzel so mature now, such a clever grown up. Yes, Rapunzel knows best. Fine if you're so sure. Now go ahead and give him a this. This is white as hair. Don't let him deceive you. Give it to him, watch you'll see. Trust me, my dear. That's how fast he'll leave you. I won't say I told you so. No, Rapunzel knows best. So if he's such a dreamer, go and put him to the test. If he's lying, don't come crying. If you want to cross a bridge, my sweet, you've got to pay the toll. Take a gulp and take a breath and go ahead and sign a scroll. Lots of tips and now I've got a voice. Crossings are you go. Wasn't that performance incredible? Wow. I pretty much died and self-resuscitated myself after that happened. It was amazing. Well, my name is Michelle Carre, and you may know me from my show Challenge Accepted, but today I am thrilled to accept the challenge of hosting this panel, Disney Villains, Icons of Evil.
Andreas Regler, and as a supervisory animator for Disney Animation Studios, I have created a few classic villains such as Gaston, Jafar, and Scar for the Lion. Well, my Disney story begins in Germany, where it really started when I saw the jungle book for the first time. I was about 11 years old, changed my life, and I wanted to do that. Create the beast when I did Gaston. So that was my first villain, and it was Ryan John again, who I wanted to do from Little Mermaid, they were doing Aladdin, so I ended up doing Jafar. And by the time it got to Lion King, which was the next project, I said, I know it's not a big turn, it's obviously somebody else is trying to do a villain, but I think I can do something with Star. And then they just looked at me and said, well, what kind of had you in mind?
What excites you the most about stepping into a villain's land?
Well, just the idea that this is a whole new land, where you can revisit these guys and see them in new act.
It was just 1 year ago that Josh D'Amaro first announced Villians at Magic Kingdom.
Yes, and since then, the Imagineers have been bringing the vision of Villains to life along with Andreas Deja. So this past year, the team took an amazing trip to Paris, France, and Barcelona, Spain, which are both iconic homes of Art Nouveau.
What did you learn on this research trip? Because if it was me, I'd probably be doing a lot of baguettes and great food. But please tell us what you learned.
That too. We brought in the experts. We toured with local art historians, architectural historians, university professors. Most of the team at least had a foundation in art history and Art Nouveau, but we wanted to see examples of architecture where it looked like nature had, a spell had been passed on nature.
Mark and Denise, thank you for coming.
Delightfully wicked to be here. If I could see you. Hello, Villains fans! There are 83 different villains and Disney sidekicks in this show. I'm going to say it again. 83 different Disney villains and sidekicks. That, to my fiendish friends, is the new record. In our show, you might see on some of the screens, there is a lot of digital surfaces to create the magic and allow the audience to go into the mirror realm. And when I say a lot of digital surfaces, we have over 74 million LED pixels.
Million. Wow.
LED, yes, and to put that into perspective, that is 1/2 the resolution of that massive Las Vegas sphere.
Wow.
Yet our show is at 1/100th of that size. And the last one, another fun fact, this is one of my absolute favorites. This is one of my favorite storytelling devices in the show, and one of my favorite elements because I think it's a character. It is a large, rolling mirror that sometimes is reflected, sometimes is a portal, allowing the guest to come to and from the mirror realm, and sometimes it's just scenery. And it stands at 174 inches tall, which is the exact size of an adult giraffe. So when you first walk in, that's right, when you first walk into the theater, you see this wonderful Art Deco kind of lotus design on the walls as part of the wallpaper. But as the show evolves and different villains show up, that wallpaper keeps changing with each villain. After Cruella shows up, after Hook shows up, after Maleficent shows up. And at the end, when you come back again and see the show, when you leave, take a look at that wallpaper to see how many different villains have left their mark.
We have what we like to call a fearsome assembly of schemers and scoundrels. You like that? Schemers and scoundrels, that's right. Yes, well, Coronado will be on the Disney Destiny. Yes, and one of the fun things you can do with Cruella is engage with a show called Treble Making with Cruella. Yes, Cruella has heard that dreadful song that's been written about her. Roger got it so wrong. She's completely misunderstood. And so she is counting on a piano player and you, the guests, to create a new song for Cruella. Yes, write a new song for Cruella that will please her, and you actually perform it and sing it for her in Troublemaking with Cruella. Participate in is what we call the Wretched Runway. Guests are able to participate in a fashion show where they strut their stuff down the runway. That will be in the Grand Hall, and yes, they will be judged by that fashionista herself, Cruella de Vil. You may sit down at his table, and he may play a playing card trick for you and your friends. There will also be what we call Let's Cook Up a Story, which is a storytelling event about, of course, Princess and the Frog. The Dr. Facilier will make an appearance, and he'll also be found wandering time to time throughout the Grand Hall. So he's always looking to make some friends. Villians.
So Michael got a group of us together in a conference room of directors and story people, and he said, I want all of you to go out and find 5 new ideas for animated films, and we're going to reconvene in 2 weeks, and I want you to pitch your ideas. And the idea was, if they liked it, it could go into development, and if they didn't, it was gone. So I took that very seriously, and that night, right after that meeting, I went to a bookstore in North Hollywood, remember, and I was looking for things, and I found a book of fairy tales. And I started going through that book, and I came across The Little Mermaid by Christian Andersen. All 5 of my treatments, and when I went through them for this or that, they were going to do this or that, but he said, both Michael and I, we really like The Little Mermaid, and we want to put it in development. So I
You
got
were
unbound. I got
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and it happened in 3 days' time. I think that's very interesting.
That's true. I had never thought about that before. So that's really the beginning of the project.
So we won with a positive gong. I appreciate that.
I want to say 2 things real quick. First of all, I'm honored and humbled to be here. Thank you, D23. Thank you, Michael Barter. Thank you, everyone. And secondly, I want to give a shout out to Becky Klein. Because she has a collection of knickknacks in her house that goes back over 100, 150 years. And without archives, thank God that Dave Smith, who started it. Hollywood is a very disposable industry, and we throw things away. But the fact is, we create culture, art, personal importance to everyone in this room, and certainly everyone globally. And instead of throwing it away, Dave Smith figured it's better to remember the past, learn from the past, learn about going forward, doing the right things, and Becky is the one personally responsible for all of that, so thank you. Let's go back in time before this shot. By the way, my grandfather's the shorter one there of the 2. Thank you, Grandpa. The fact was that Elias, Disney, Walt's father, Roy's father, was a loving man, but an extraordinarily tough man. And the reality was that in 1916, 17, 18, all 4 of the boys, Ray, Herb, Roy, and Walt, basically ran away from home. And, right? And Walt, there they are. And Walt went out on his own. Of course, he had a very unformed but obsessive vision in his head that he didn't know how to accomplish it. So he went out first in Kansas City, and then partly through the persuasion of Roy, Hollywood, where the action was. Half the company is built on foreign business. And in those days, it was marketing the product that we were producing. And remember, we're the first to do character marketing, so we also marketed that. But he would go to Europe every other year and meet the distributors in every country. He knew their families, he knew their kids' birthdays. And every other year, he would fly them to his house, which is the house I now live in, and entertain the families. And that's what I grew up with as a kid. And so he built the company until World War II on that. And then, of course, in World War II, it all went away, so he had to start all over again. But just to give you an idea of one of the famous trips he did, in 1946, he flew to London, E.L. Travers, in London, to start negotiating Mary Poppins. Which is crazy to think that it was in production in 1964 and we still didn't have a contract. But
He was a brave man.
and they said, I want you back at City Hall at 12:30. And if you can't make it to City Hall, ask a security guard and they will help you. So I did one day just to find out how that worked. I'm not saying I didn't know how to get to City Hall, but I am saying I thought it was cool to talk to a security guard. And the first thing he said to me is, what's your name? And I, of course, said Disney. And he, of course, said, oh, yeah.
And then you said Roy Disney, and that made it even worse, huh?
And Frank was a Harvard-educated lawyer who climbed 6 of the 7 summits, and one of the smartest, most intimidating men I've ever met, a super guy. basically it was 3 hours of me saying, why not? And he would say, why?
Well,
But it was
obviously,
a stand up, and we have environmentality today, and I helped write that.
and that's
is a tribute to the philosophy and the life of Walt Disney, and to the talent, the dedication, and the loyalty of the entire Disney organization that made Walt Disney's dream come true. May Walt Disney World bring joy and inspiration and new knowledge to all who come to this happy place. A magic kingdom where the young and heart of all ages can laugh and play and learn together. Dedicated to the 25th day of October, 1971.
Hello everybody, we finished up the morning at Destination D23, and so we just ate lunch. We've been out of the panels for a while now. We have like probably about an hour until we want to go back in and sit down. This morning I had like a mix of things. So we had the Villians section, which that was okay. I feel like it didn't give us a whole lot of anything. The musical performance was really cool, but gave us very minimal to no information about the new Villains Land, unfortunately, which I kind of expected that, but you know. I am just like kind of annoyed because like about a week ago, Disney held like a press conference and announced tons of like fun little things, like how they were gonna, like the updates that are coming to Big Thunder Mountain, and I don't know, just different things like that. And I wish they would have just saved those for Destination D23, because I would rather have heard about that stuff than some of the other stuff we've heard about these past few days. But one of the panels that I really did enjoy, so they had a panel with Jodi Benson, and that was really nice. She's always just so sweet, so it's always great to hear her chatting with other people. And then there's also a panel with an archive specialist interviewing Roy P. Disney, so Roy O. Disney was Walt's brother. Roy E. Disney was obviously Walt's nephew, which is Roy P. Disney's father. And Roy E. Disney had a lot to do with Disney. I actually got the chance to meet him when I was a kid, which was really cool. A little fun fact about me. So then to hear from his son was really neat, and he was very insightful. He was funny. He seems like a really, really good guy, and he seems like he really has the heart of the company still in mind and the best interest of the company. And at the end, he talked about how, you know, quality is over everything. Quality and doing the right thing is over everything. And I'm like, wow, maybe we should make him CEO. But obviously that probably won't happen, but that would be nice. Hearing from him was really, really interesting and definitely a highlight of this whole thing for me. And then we decided to break for lunch. They had an archives unit, which Grant stayed in for a little bit for, but mainly it was like photos. It was interesting, he said, but you know, I came out and I edited a little bit, so I did get the Cuscotopia video from last night finished. It was a short video, only about 12 minutes, so that is up for you guys if you are interested in seeing that, so you can check that out prior to this video. And if you missed yesterday's video, there's a lot more exciting announcements yesterday, so you might want to go back and watch that video as well, which that was technically published the morning I am talking to you in this video, so it's just very much time warp. We're so tired and so exhausted. We still have the afternoon to go, but we are powering through. And so there's some fun stuff this afternoon. We're excited for the Disney Channel panel, and then there's a Beyond the Spires section, so we're hoping we get maybe some park stuff with that. I don't know. We may hear nothing, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Late afternoon, there's like a Goofy movie panel, which I'm looking forward to, which I'm assuming the guys from Goofy movie will be here. We saw them the other day walking around, so I'm assuming that they're here for that. There was also rumors that Jake Thomas, I don't know why I thought his name was Matthew in real life, it was Matt in the show. So Jake Thomas, there's rumors that he's going to be here for the Disney Channel panel because he was at Epcot yesterday, so that would be really neat if that is the case. So really excited for those coming up here, and excited to share those with you guys.
Taken from the Descendants, The Rise of Red. What enchanted item transports Red and Chloe back in time? A. Brandy and Mr. Whiskers. B. Lloyd in Space. C. Bug Juice. Or D. Jetpack Academy. This one's hard.
It takes us to the small screen with a very big, big place in our hearts. Back in 1992, while I was doing a Broadway show called Crazy for You, thank you, that's so sweet. during the day, I would be recording our television series, our animated series of The Little Mermaid. We did 3 seasons, 36 episodes, I think about 14 original songs, and I had the absolute time of my life getting to do that series. So of course, I am a huge Disney Channel fan. Of your favorite Disney Channel stars from the past and to the present. And it truly is my honor to introduce this next amazing Disney fan. My super, super hype friend who I love and adore so much, the incredible and talented Ashley Eckstein.
Be on Disney Channel. Truly, that was my dream. And I was able to make it come true when I played Muffy on That's So Raven. Alana said that she likes D23. So this is very, very cool. I'm going to stop talking now because we have some amazing panelists. Our amazing panelists, let's hear it from Raven's home and Disney Junior's Ariel. We have Michael Michelle Harris. Let's hear it from Michael Michelle. And from the High School Musical franchise, Moby. From Lizzie McGuire, let's hear it from Jake Todd. From Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, The Mighty Ducks, Game Changers, and Coven Academy, Sway From Good Luck Charlie, Mia Talarico. From Wizards Beyond Waverly Place, Janice Leanne Brown. And from Minutemen and Good Luck Charlie, let's give a warm D23 moment. What is your favorite DCOM? Or, okay, you have your choice. Either your favorite DCOM, or if you could play any other character other than your own, what would it be?
It's back a very long time ago.
Please.
And I would have really loved to have been Windy Lou.
I think my favorite growing up was the famous Jet Jackson. Because I think I was airing right around the same time as we started filming Lizzie McGuire. I was like, I'm living Jet Jackson. I'm living, this is the life that I'm doing.
I'm a huge Teen Beach and Austin and Alley person, so anything that has Ross Lynch, I'm there for.
Me or my you? Because you didn't get to talk much in Good Luck Charlie, so we're gonna
Stop silencing Mia, Disney.
Is this better? Yes. Okay, I said Hannah Montana.
Janice, what about you?
Definitely, it would be so much fun to play Lizzie McGuire and then also
Because I'm 80 years old, I grew up watching like Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck cartoons. Like my Saturday morning was that. And then I feel very seen by Justin Russo's anxiety and rule following obsession. So I think I feel like I kind of am him already. So.
Monique Coleman is here today, legendary and beautiful, and all of the adjectives. She's just an amazing human. I want to know, what was the moment, and was there a moment when you realized how big this franchise was?
Wow. You know what's funny is I feel like I'm still realizing it because it has lasted multiple generations, and that is incredible, you know? Yes, truly. You know, and to still be here after all this time, you know, I think the first time was we were invited to New York, and our itinerary when we left Los Angeles was like, oh, you're gonna be on Good Morning America, and you've got an interview with like 2 people. And by the time we left there, we were on Good Morning America, The Today Show. We were Teen People's 25 Hottest Stars Under 25. I'm watching kids wearing our t-shirts, a bus drives by, and I'm like, wait, are we famous? And that's literally what it was like. But now moving forward, you know, just seeing the impact impact that it's made, and the fact that High School Musical, the musical, this series, was able to live and have an entire world of its own based on the franchise has really just been an incredible moment for me to just see the everlasting impact.
Literally grew up as Charlie Duncan. So with the help of her older siblings, including big brother PJ, of course. So Mia and Jason, what is that like to watch that back?
I mean, for me, it's so surreal. Like, obviously, I was so young that I barely remember a lot of it. But I've heard so many stories, and watching it back is truly like a family scrapbook. Like you said, I literally grew up with these people. They were my siblings for 5 years, basically. And so watching that back, it's a good warm feeling, and it makes me really happy to see.
Now, I want to know, do you have many memories from set because you were so young?
You know, one of my most clear memories is actually with Jason when we did the second baby race on the bikes. Remember that? And they picked me up and you're swinging me around. That's like my clearest memory. And then my second memory, that is like another really clear one, is funny enough the very last episode that we ever filmed, and we had like an after party kind of thing, and everyone was crying. We had a cake. I remember that. Yeah. Of course, the cake. I remember.
I think we need like a flash forward episode so we can meet you now. Jason, what about you? And also, have you had the chance to share memories with Mia of like, hey, you once did this?
Well, it's funny because watching that, it literally holding this person here, in my arms. Because I remember the first time, like, seeing you come onto set, shooting the pilot. Your mom, Claire, is carrying you in swaddling cloths, and you're 9 months old. I have that such a clear memory of that in my head. And then what was, for me, so surreal was I saw you in Bridget's engagement party. And it had been like, 5 or 6 years since we were done with the show. And so you looked at me like you knew you were kind of supposed to know who I was, but you actually didn't know who I was. So I had this weird, kind of mourning moment of realizing, oh, that person that I knew, this child that I was carrying in my arms, isn't really the same person that's standing in front of me, which was kind of mind-breaking, and it made me feel old, not in a bad way, but that's just a really unique experience that I have not really had up until that moment.
I remember when I first moved to LA, I was fresh in LA, and there was a giant building, and the whole building was wrapped in a Lizzie McGuire poster, and that was like my welcome to LA. Lizzie McGuire was my show. I didn't miss an episode, and we all remember you as the most mischievous Disney Channel brother of all time.
I was a little angel. What are you talking about?
That cordless phone did not make me feel old at all.
Yeah, that did touch just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Jake, what was your favorite memory on set during the Lizzie McGuire days?
Man, I don't know if I can narrow down just one memory from being on set. I think just the whole experience too, because we really had no idea the phenomenon that it would become. I mean, do we have anyone who's seen Lizzie McGuire here? But I mean, honestly, just the fact that it's become such a staple memory for people, even something almost like a comfort food for people to go back and watch the show or the movie.
1000%.
I think it's amazing. I love it.
Lizzie McGuire holds up. In the Lizzie McGuire movie, don't even get me started. Run to the dance floor when This Is What Dreams Are Made Of. Every time.
You can't go anywhere without saying, hey now.
Hey now. Hey now. Okay. Gotta get through. Okay. Matt, okay. Were you similar to your character, or were you completely different? Were you the angel child, or were you a little mischievous?
I plead the fifth. I think Matt and I, in some aspects, were the same. I mean, I you know, I filmed that from age like 9 to 12, and it was just me having a great time. I had the best job on Disney Channel. I got to show up every day and do some weird stunt or prank or something. I was living the dream, for sure.
You really were.
Imagineers start researching castles. Obviously, castles have been around for centuries. Ours are a little different. You gotta modernize old castles and a lot of different materials and uses. So instead of bricks and stones like some of those early ones, fiberglass, steel, concrete, and I venture to guess a lot of those early castles didn't have bippity-boppity boutiques or telephone operating rooms inside them either.
He was always drawing old ruins and old Gothic cathedrals and castles. And Walt went back to the United States, but this architect, his name was Roland Hill, he stayed in France and he studied at the Beaux-Arts in Paris and got his architectural degree there, went back to the US, the Depression hit, so he went to work for the different film studios. And so 20 or 30 years later, time to do Disneyland's castle, and Roland Hill, by coincidence, is on the 20,000 Leagues film shoot, and he's brought over to WED to work on the castle and to give it more of a French influence. And so you'll see little bits and pieces of French Loire Valley castles integrated into Disneyland's castle.
We have 3 at the Magic Kingdom: Cinderella's Castle, Prince Eric's Castle, and Beast Castle. We have 2 at Epcot, one at the Japan Pavilion and one at Norway. And then we have my favorite castles, which are the ones at Winter Wonderland. You saw earlier, we always get a Christmas photo in front of the Snow Castle.
Hi, D23. My name is Michel Ndel from Walt Disney Imagineering, Paris. And today I'm happy to share with you the latest from our construction site of the upcoming World of Frozen. Please take a look. Disneyland Paris is home to many castles, like our majestic Sleeping Beauty Castle and many others. But for the first time in forever, we are adding castles and palaces here in our second park in Paris. There is an elegant Arendelle Castle, which is inspired by traditional Scandinavian architecture. Disney Imagineers have just completed the installation of Elsa's Ice Palace on top of the North Mountain, the highest point of World of Frozen. With its height and scale, the Ice Palace, made out of more than 30 pieces, will for sure become a beacon that guests walk towards as they approach this new immersive area. Day by day, Arendelle becomes more lively. But behind the scenes in World of Frozen and our other experiences, there's still a lot to achieve. But one thing is certain, we will welcome our guests and fans to World of Frozen in the spring of 2000.
Oh. That's right, guys. Frozen is coming in spring of 2026. That's very soon.
I love this thing. Sometimes designing is about, throwing caution to the wind, taking all the risks, getting a little crazy, and this thing does all 3 of those in spades. It's absolutely incredible.
But it was just a fun overlay for it, but it wasn't the first birthday cake overlay. There was another one a couple years before that.
Well, there was a lot of debate, a lot of different opinions about it. Some people thought it was a delicious idea, and other people thought it was distasteful. But the French folks really loved it. The audience, which is what counts, thought it was a grand idea. And the only problem was one day when I went out there, a few days later, and looked into the moat after there had been a rain, and there was the moat had turned pink. All the water was pink, Pepto-Bismol color.
Cake on the Carousel of Progress. So I love this one because we all know the carousel keeps turning, and I keep thinking of this thing as like a cake display at a bakery. Like in my head, this cake also turns. It's not a static thing at all.
So that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
This came out pretty much day and date with The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which was an extremely popular film in France. It did very well. And so, hey, why not? As long as it's just for a few months.
Stitch Tiki Castle, which is what we called it at the time. And one morning I came into the office and I walked by his desk and I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, get out of here, you're not supposed to know about this. And I'm like, what is that? So then later on the day I came back and I'm like, so do you have smaller rolls at the top for forced perspective and bigger rolls down at the bottom? And he's like, that's not funny.
The grays, the creams, the rich blues with some touches of gold, that really is the heart of this castle. And so they'll be coming in the future here to Walt Disney.
Wow.
Bill Farmer. Good to see you. Hey, Bill, I'm going to bring out two more people that are central to this movie. Your son on screen is here, the amazing Jason Marsden. Jason. And the director of the Goofy movie, Kevin Lima, is here. Kevin, come on out.
Before a Goofy movie, I started doing Goofy's voice in January of 1987. And it was very few and far between jobs, actually. The first thing I did was called Mickey's Doggone Valentine. And I just had to do one line of ADR, or additional dialogue recording. It was to an old cartoon, and I'd never done that before. So I go into the studio, having never done this before, and have to replace a line of dialogue from, I assume, Pinto Colvig from an old cartoon, and it was terrifying. And at the time, I met Tony Anselmo, the voice of Donald Duck, who was doing Donald on that same show. He was sitting there as an artist drawing and doodling Donald.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
And I thought to myself, I was so green, I thought, well, we don't have to draw these guys too. They said, we're going to make a movie. And that's how it all started.
I wanted to be a director, and I had moved through the studio in a lot of different positions. I was an animator, a character designer, a storyboard artist, and I said, I'd really like to direct. And they said, sorry, there's no room. They had the next 6 years planned, so I actually left the studio to follow some opportunities. And I got a phone call from the television division saying they're looking for a director for a Goofy movie. Then called the Goofy movie, but we changed it to A for some reason. So yeah, that's how it happened for me, and it all came from just asking.
I haven't changed a bit.
No, yeah. We were all thinking that.
My hair had color back then.
Jason, how did you get into this film? What's your genesis story here?
I auditioned. They brought me in. They liked me over there at Disney. I had done some things for them before. Did Disney's Adventures with Gummy Bears, and some television. Yeah, there we go. Gummy Bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. And I got to meet Kev, and I was aware of Goof Troop. And in Goof Troop, Max was voiced by the amazing late great Dana Hill. And but for the feature, I think they wanted like more of an authentic male teenage sound. And I was 18 at the time, pretty close to being still a teenager. And they explained that Max was a little bit older than 12, kind of going through puberty. So I just had to have almost sort of like my product as I sound young naturally. I just pitched him up, gave him a little voice crack here and there, the whole puberty thing, and then maybe be like his dad, give a little every time he laughs. Yeah.
The guys who were doing not just the goof, they tried to put it in the movie, but it didn't quite fit. So you guys get to see this today.
And I'm not listening to a guide track either.
What makes that little old man think he'll move that rubber tree plant? Anyone knows a man can't move a rubber tree plant, but he's got high hopes. He's got high hopes. He's got high in the sky. So when they climb, you're getting low. Stand and letting go. Just remember that. Oops, there goes another rubber tree. Oops, there goes another rubber tree. Oops, there goes another rubber tree plant.
So that is going to be it from us here at Destination D23 2025. We had such a good afternoon set of panels. It was really good. They did a Beyond the Spire one. They did a Disney Channel one, which is super, super enjoyable. I love the Disney Channel one. It was like probably one of my favorites throughout the past 2 days. I think they had a really good variety of Disney Channel stars there, both from past and the present. Really enjoyed seeing those cast members from shows that I grew up watching. Beyond the Spire one was pretty cool too, talking about the different castles and different things behind that. We got the news that Cinderella Castle will be returning back to its original color scheme, so with that gray, so they're getting rid of the pink and the like electric blue. We also heard that the World of Frozen over at Disneyland Paris, so Disneyland Adventure World, so Disneyland Paris' second park, will be opening up this coming spring, so spring 2026, so that was some exciting news as well. And then we ended the day with the Goofy movie 30th anniversary panel. That was really cool to learn more about the behind the scenes of the movie and things of that sort. They did still have that 80s and 90s concert. However, the panels in the late afternoon ran over quite a bit, and we have to go to Hilton Head now. We are driving the 5 hours to Hilton Head tonight, and so we just decided, we're like, you know what, we're already so tired. We already have to drive 5 hours. We need to eat something first. We're just gonna head out, as much as it stinks to have to miss that at the end there. But it seemed like a lot of people had a similar idea, because a lot of people were pouring out after the Goofy movie panel. I want to thank you guys so much for watching along these past few days. I'm so just in awe of how many of you have found me through this, which is so exciting. If you want to follow me along more day to day, you can follow my Instagram at The Northern Prepster. All my links are below. If you're looking for more Disney content, go ahead and check out my TikTok. And even check out my website. I have a blog where I write tons of Disney content. So if you're looking for recommendations for your trip or something of that sort, you can find that there. And stay tuned for more videos coming up very soon. I have some things from months ago that I need to still edit. Plus, we're going to be doing a video about the Hilton Head Resort. We're going to be doing Beacon Barrel. We're going to be doing the Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar Pop-Up Halloween Bar, and we're going to be staying at Riviera, so we'll probably do a video on that too. So you'll have that to look forward to in the coming week, and make sure you subscribe. I'm over 500 now, which is so exciting, but I'm trying to hit 1,000. So I'd really appreciate if you guys subscribe, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.